The other children of Isabella of France. Isabella gave birth to her first child, Edward, on the 12th of November 1312, and she also gave birth to 3 other children who we're going to look at today. Isabella gave birth to her second child on the 15th of August 1316. He was born at Eltham Palace in Kent. Her son was called John, and at the age of 12 he was granted Earl of Cornwall. Poor John grew up being passed back and forth between his parents, and he was locked in the Tower of London for a while, until his brother Edward led a group against their mother and assumed his freedom. He was trusted by his older brother Edward. He was named Guardian of the Realm. When Edward I was out on the country, he was asked to open Parliament in Edward's absence and was named Warden of Northern Monarchs, which gave him virtual autonomy in the portion of England. In 1328, he was engaged to Maria Diaz de Haro, heiress of Lordship of Biscay, by contract signed on the 20th of September 1334. John was betrothed to Maria de la Creda, Lady of Lerno, and daughter of Ferdinand Lagra, grandson of Alfonso X of Castile, by his wife Juana Núñez de Lara, Lady of Lara. But the marriage was soon called off because of the contract. He was again arranged to marry Joan, Countess of Perea, but it wasn't official and he didn't marry her. At 16, John was made key commander of Battle of Hillardom Hill, 1333, a devastating defeat of the Scots. Later, he commanded an army in the southwest of Scotland that put down resistance to Edward Balliol, whose claims to the Scottish throne were supported by England. Scottish counts claimed to view John as a ruthless destroyer. He burnt down Lesmgo Abbey when it was filled with people who had sought sanctuaries from the wrath of the English troops. As the Scottish chronicler John of Fordham tells it, this violation of the scared laws of sanctuary. So modern historian Tom Beaumont James this tale challenges discrimination between history and story. John died the 15th of January 1337. It was most likely he died from a fever at the shy age of 20. His honours were beautiful Alistair carved tomb in Westminster Abbey and had over 900 masses said for his soul. Isabella gave birth to her third child on the 18th of June 1318. She was named Eleanor and she was born at Woodstock Palace in Oxfordshire. In early 1328, Eleanor's new sister-in-law Philippa of Hainaut, wife of Edward III, became Eleanor's guardian. In 1329, during the minority government, navigations were unaware of a match between Eleanor and the future John II of France. The following year, the prospective bridegroom was Pedro, son of Alfonso VI of Aragon, but these navigations fell through also. In 1332, Eleanor married the Count of Gludas, Reinald II, who was also known as the Black. The marriage was arranged between her brother and her mother's cousin, Joan of Valois. According to most people, the groom had a lot of dark colour, and according to chronicles, also Caracalla was a widower with 4 daughters. He was known for, among other things, having imprisoned his father for over 6 years. When Eleanor became widowed, the regent of Guelders for her 9-year-old son Reginald, having assumed power, she had an old enemy, Jan Maliat, arrested and imprisoned. Her regency was formally recognised, but was formed to confront a relative of her late husband, Jan van Valkenburg, who demanded his right to share the regency with her. The situation was very difficult, according to some accounts. She was forced to resign her post of regency, and her son was formally declared legal majority of, therefore was no need regency of the age of 11 in 1344. Eleanor died at the age of 36, and she was buried in the Franciscan church in Denetha. Her tombstone was a simple inscription, Eleanor, on it. However, in England, on the south side of Philippa of Hainaut, a tomb in Westminster Abbey, there is an image of her and her husband. The youngest daughter and youngest child of Isabella of France was Joan of the Tower. She was born on the 5th of July 1321. Her sister Eleanor was placed under the guardianship of Ralph de Mortimer and Lady Isabella of Valence. They received a superb upbringing at the castles of Pelshey and Marlborough. In accordance with the Treaty of Edinburgh and Nottingham, Joan was married on the 17th of July 1328 to David, the son and heir of Robert the Bruce at Wickenburn-upon-Tweed. She was 7 years old, and he was 4 at the time of their marriage. That was very young. The marriage lasted until they were 34, but it was childless and even loveless. In the spring of 1333, Joan's brother Edward III invaded Scotland after the victory of him and his protege Edward Balliol at the Battle of Hanningdon Hill near Werwick-upon-Tweed in July 1333. David and Joan were sent for safety to France. Died at age 41 in 1362 at Hertford Castle in Hertfordshire. By that time, she had gone estranged from David for many years.